It's Foundation Friday. Wow, it has been a friggin' minute, folks. Let's see if I remember how to do this thing. If you're new to my channel, I have hundreds of foundation reviews. I used to do 15 days of foundation, Foundation Friday, every single week. So if you want a bunch of foundation reviews, I'll leave the playlist down below. I recently talked about an update on both of those topics in another video, so I'll link that in the eye down below if you want to be caught up on where Foundation Friday has been. But this foundation, I was too excited not to do. Scare the shit out of me. Okay, now I'm awake. I keep doing this thing where I start laundry right before I need to film, and then I just have to wait till the laundry's done. I thought it was done, but apparently now it's done. Anyways, this foundation launch I feel like is getting so much hype. I keep hearing amazing things about this foundation, and the reviews online have been killer, just like the amount of positive reviews on Sephora and their website and everywhere. So I'm really curious. We're doing an old school style Foundation Friday, first impression review. We are in fully natural lighting right now. You can really see the foundation. I always do up close shots and check in throughout the day. And then I'll update a couple days later once I've worn it some more what I think. Let's get into it. If you're excited for Foundation Friday and you enjoy while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. Let's put this foundation on. I'm obsessed with this sweater. I think it's Free People brand, but I'm renting it from Fashion Pass, which I've been so in love with, especially for traveling. It's just been nice to like be able to rent pieces and then send it back instead of buying stuff and whatever. It's like a super comfortable material. It's not too hot. Anyways, wow, I'm rusty because I didn't even say the name of the foundation in the intro. So today we're gonna be trying out the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I have the lightest two shades here, which is 1 neutral and 2 neutral. Not sure which one I'm gonna be. I'm gonna read some of the claims here and then we'll get into the application. So this foundation retails for $44. You get 1 fluid ounce. It comes in 30 shades and it says it's a 16-hour natural glow foundation with buildable medium coverage to hydrate, smooth, blur pores, and brighten skin. It has hyaluronic acid. They say it has a rose complex. The thing that really gets me is that on the box and on Sephora, it says 285% increase in radiance. That's a specific percentage right there. Basically, it's a skincare infused foundation that is supposed to have a natural, radiant, glowy kind of finish. That's pretty much it, man. So whenever I do foundation reviews, I have on a neutral kind of finish SPF. It's just a gel SPF. I'll link it down below, the one I use. So it's not adding any kind of glow to my face right now because whenever I test foundation, I like to use minimal products underneath to see the actual finish of the foundation and everything. And when I do my updates at the end, that's when I'll have tried it in a couple different ways with like a primer or setting spray or something, so you can still get my thoughts that way. I'm gonna zoom in. Wait, can I just note, why doesn't every brand do this? They just had a seal. This is so simple, the simple things in life. It had a seal, but it just popped open and broke the seal so easily. Thank you, Charlotte Tilbury. Love some good packaging. Here we have shade 1 and 2. I'm gonna insert some foundation swatches here so you can see how these shades compare to some of the other foundations that I own. All right, so here are some foundation swatches. Right here's the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation in the lightest shade 1. Next over is the Charlotte Tilbury foundation in the shade Up 2, NARS Soft Matte Foundation in the shade Mont Blanc, Purito BB Cream in 21, the lightest shade, L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum in the shade 0.5 to 2, very light, and Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation in the shade Light 2. Number 2 in the tube is looking a little yellow. I'm gonna start off with number 1 and just do like a cheek swatch and see what I think. Oh, this actually twists off. Oh, shit. Did I just open that totally wrong? Yes. Okay, starting off good. It does have a pump, so don't unscrew and do what I just did. Now we're gonna start off with shade 1. On half my face, I'm gonna use my Sigma F80 foundation brush. On the other half, a sponge. I like to use the Kokie sponge dry. It's one of the only sponges I like to use dry. I need to desperately get a new one. I don't have my foundation palette with me, and I hate using my hands, so I'm just gonna put it directly on my face. Hello, there we go. It was about 1 pump. Okay, here we go. I like to always stipple first. Okay, off the bat, the consistency of this is reminding me of the Cosmetics. I don't want to say thick, but it's like a thicker kind of gel, it feels like. Definitely looks like medium coverage. Ooh, okay, that finish is beautiful. I would say it's a satin finish. It doesn't look overly glowy, and it's really like melting into my skin. Let me get my, where's my mirror? It's looking really nice and just like soft on the skin. I was thinking just by the description that this one might remind me of CYO, but it's definitely not. CYO was much dewier. This I think is like true satin finish. And that shade I think is a perfect shade match. Like undertone, looks like it's matching really well. Just thought I had to hiccup and then nothing came out. Typically I like using a sponge if I have a like extremely matte full coverage foundation like the NARS Soft Matte, or I like going over my brush with the sponge. Like I would go back over. I mean, I don't even feel like I need to go back over on this side, but that's usually how I do it. I don't like to typically go straight in, but I know everyone wants to know what it looks like with the sponge. Finish wise, looks about the same with a sponge, but I am getting a little bit less coverage, which is pretty typical for me with a sponge. So for me, I think because the finish on the brush side looks so nice too, I don't really see a need for going in with the sponge. I'm also gonna add a little bit more just to see if it's buildable, but also to even it out to this side because I did get slight list and I'm using like a very small amount. I just wanna see what happens when we build it and get it to the other side. Okay, I built it up enough to where I think now both sides look similar coverage-wise. I don't think you're gonna get like a ton more coverage if you build this one up, so probably just going with one layer. It's a medium coverage foundation. It's truly medium and it's like a perfect amount. This is the true test for me. The forehead between my eyebrows is where a lot of foundations look really crappy on me. The glow from just my skin right now, I like can't figure out my skin on the East Coast so far. It's been so dry. It's been more dry than usual, but also just like randomly breaking out and like more textured than usual. And some days I wake up, like today I feel like I'm having a good skin day. It's like looking nice and glowy. And then other days it's like so just bumpy and textured and dry. And I'm like, what products do you need from me? Let me know, skin. Let me zoom in even more. Between my eyebrows, I think it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna do what I normally do right there and take the smallest, tiniest amount on the sponge and just press right there. That usually like really smooths it out for me. Especially with certain foundations, it like really is a game changer if you do this. Oh yeah, woo! This is looking pretty. I'm gonna just go in, like I said, and go over the areas that I normally crease, really press. Right now I don't have any more product, I'm just kind of going over it for the final texture. This is looking good. Love the finish, looks natural. Also, I totally forgot to say, the video that went up on Monday where Jamaica, the Boston makeup artist, did my makeup, she actually used this foundation on me, but she mixed it with another foundation and I couldn't even really see, like, you know, there was so much powder and stuff on the rest of my face that it wasn't like I had any kind of spoilers really on what the foundation looked like on my skin because it was mixed and all the other stuff added. This is looking really good, especially around my pores. It's just looking really soft. Right now it is 10:04. I have my time check on Instagram because I don't know why I'm like checking Instagram way too much lately. So I put like a 15-minute thing, but every time I just hit remind me in 15 minutes and still open the app. But anyways, it's 10:05 when we're starting this. So I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and then we'll be back so you can see what it looks like with everything else on. And I'm gonna do a flash test, so I'll be back. All right, it's now 10:27. I just did my makeup pretty fast. Not that it's anything special. This one, you guys, so far, so good. I'm really curious and excited to see how this wears throughout the day because right now I'm loving it. One of the things I love with certain foundations is if they have that like satin kind of finish, but still dry down enough to where you can blend powders over top without putting a face powder. Like today, I was easily able to blend bronzer, powder bronzer over top and it didn't pick up anything. It blended easily because it dries down enough to where when you like tap your face, it doesn't feel like you have like a glowy foundation on it. It's not like total powder, but it's definitely not like sticky tacky, which I love. So I'm gonna tell you the makeup on my face in a second, but I'm gonna zoom in. I'm getting zero creasing on my upper lip so far, and sometimes foundations, like even after 20 minutes, will start creasing on my upper lip or around here. It's just looking so natural, and the finish is very flattering. It does look softening. That was one of their claims, wasn't it? Yeah, plumping and softening. I wouldn't say this is a plumping foundation. I definitely have other foundations that give more of that like plumping effect, but softening, I do agree with. Rach is sending me TikToks right now. Do you guys have that friend who you send them TikToks all the time and they never reply and you just want the reaction from someone, you know? But then like I'll ask Rach in real life, like, do you ever watch my TikToks? And she goes, oh yeah, I watch every one. Like, can I get some kind of reaction, please? Everything right now, 10 out of 10, could go downhill. We'll see. That's why I do full day wear tests and try it multiple times. I'll tell you the makeup I use for the rest of my face. So for concealer, I mixed the Turn Up the Base Butter Silk Concealer in the shade Light 1. This shade is too dark for me, so I always have to mix it. I mixed it with the Kosas in the shade 1. Bronzer, first I went in with the Makeup by Mario in the shade Light. This is the Soft Sculpt Bronzer. I like this one, but almost every time I use this, I just feel like it's a little bit too light. Like I need something else. So if you're more fair than I am, you might really like this shade, but I feel like I always have to kind of like layer something with it. So then I went in with the 03 of the Huda Glowish powder. This is a powder foundation, but I like using it for bronzer. It has like a nice kind of warmth to it. I actually didn't use any blush today because I just felt like with the pink and the pink, I didn't need blush. I used the Cosmetics Mystic lip cushion. This is so pretty. If you like really build this up, it can be like fuchsia, but I just like to kind of dab a little bit and then blend it out with my finger. For mascara, I used the Lancome XL primer and then Lottie London Super Fake, my favorite. I showed getting this palette in the Boston apartment tour vlog. I got this from Thrive Market. It's the, I don't know if it's We Well People. This is their eyeshadow palette in the shade Taupe. I thought it was gonna be a more cool tone looking at it online, but it's definitely like a very warm palette. It was fine. I don't think it's necessarily something you need in your life. Right now, I'm in a major phase of, I love just like smudging liner on the top, but I'm finding that 9 out of 10 eyeliners really transfer up on me. So this one's the Giorgio Armani Smooth Silk Eye Pencil in the shade 4, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be black, but I feel like whenever I blend it out, it almost has like a dark blue kind of color to it. And then brows, I did one of my usual combos. This is extreme, 4 brow products. Anastasia Brow Freeze, Kosas Brow Gel, Joa Brow Pencil in black brown, and then a little bit of the Milani Weekend Brow, just to add a little strokes. Let's do a flash test. I'm actually just gonna go back in the laundry room and take a quick photo because it's like dark in there. Also, I have shorts on. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but they are there. Here's the flash photo. I think it looks pretty normal in flash. I'm not getting any kind of crazy flashback. I think it's good to go in flash. Right now it's 10:36, but the check-in time is 10:05. I'm very excited to go eat some breakfast right now. I'll see you guys in a few hours back here for the next check-in. It's 2:40. I've had my hair done because my ponytail was suffocating my brain, but I'm gonna put it back up for you guys. So 2:40, so it's been on for about 4.5 hours. I've had a very productive 4.5 hours. I've only looked at my face one time between now and then, and I liked how it looked. I think I looked at it a couple hours in. Okay, so my forehead is definitely looking very dewy now, and actually around my nose as well. I am looking like, I mean, I like this level of dew, especially when my skin is more dry, but I think some people would think it looks a little bit oily if you look like around my pores. Like yeah, it's definitely, the finish has changed and become more dewy. I think it's definitely still looking really good. I'm getting zero creasing whatsoever. I would say if you have oily skin, everything looks different if you powder it. So if you have oily skin, you'd be powdering anyway. I'm a little concerned about just the level of dew we're at right now. If it's 4.5 hours in, how it's gonna look by the end of the night. But I would say like still overall looking at my face, like my makeup is holding up well. Bronzer is staying on really nicely. Like it overall still looks nice and even and like on there. So we'll see how it looks by the end of the night. I'll see you guys in a few more hours. Okay, so it's now 7:30, so it's been on for 9.5 hours. I'm not getting any creasing, which is rare for me. I do look pretty oily, which is very weird for me. I don't remember the last time I looked oily, but I would say I do look like oily because it's around my pores. My forehead, I still don't mind this level of glow. I mean, it's definitely a little much, but it's mostly like around here. I'm gonna keep wearing this one and update you in this video in a few days what I think. So we'll see you back here. Okay, so it's another day of testing the Charlotte Tilbury foundation, and I will say my skin is a little bit shittier today. It's just more dry and I'm having like more texture. Literally, it's been going like day to day. So that definitely played a part in how the foundation went on today. I felt like it didn't go on as smooth on my forehead, where it just didn't want to stick, where it didn't want to like quite cover as much right here. I had to like go over it with the sponge and just kind of like layer it to try and get it to stick. But I did want to try it today with the Beauty Blender Pore Primer, so it could be that it just didn't go over that primer, which means that it could be a finicky one. Like certain primers work better with this foundation. That primer is very mattifying. Some foundations don't work well with it, but whether it was the primer or just my skin today, I mean, now I feel like it's looking pretty good, especially in this lighting. I am right in front of the window, just a different window. I did have to work with it more. I think I'm gonna spray the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush setting spray over top. I feel like it needs some moisture and it needs some melting in. Okay, I think that helped, but I'm definitely looking dewier now. So. Okay, so today I have on the Charlotte Tilbury, but I actually applied it with my hands, and I think I actually like that the best. I don't know why I even did that. I actually did it twice with my hands, and the first time I just wanted like really quick, just slap it on, so that's why I used my hands, and then I was like, wait, that actually looks good. So I did it with my hands again today. It's definitely a little bit lighter coverage. Like I would say it's low medium coverage if you use your hands. A little bit more natural looking makeup today, but right now it's been on for like 4 hours with this, and I didn't put on a primer. I did put on setting spray, and then I put on Dermablend powder just around my nose and a little bit on my chin, and I think that might be the trick with this one, is just like a little bit of a powder in the areas where it starts to get a little bit too dewy, oily looking. Okay, here's the Charlotte Tilbury later on in the night. And I don't know, man, I don't know if oily skin, if you'd like this one. I mean, it gets very, very, very glowy looking. Like I said, today I did put on the Dermablend powder, this guy, around my nose and on my chin. I think that helped a little bit, but I had my hand right here, so all my bronzer and stuff's messed up, but this is a little much, you know? So if you have oily skin, you're gonna have to do a lot with this one. Right, I'm looking and feeling a little rough right now, but I wanted to end off this video with just my final thought. Charlotte Tilbury foundation. I have mixed thoughts on this one. I like how it looks when it first goes on, but so far I haven't found a way on my skin for it to really hold up well. I've worn it 4 or 5 times so far. 5 was like just a quick couple hour one. It looks really pretty when it first goes on. I like the finish. Coverage is very natural, just medium coverage. I just can't get it so far to last well on my skin. My skin really is not oily or anything. Like, I haven't had a foundation look this oily on my skin in a while, probably like at least a year. Maybe I'll find like a winning combo, but for me, it's not gonna be one that I reach for super frequently because of that. If I want something where I know I'm just gonna be out for an hour or two, I don't really care if my makeup holds up well, and I just want kind of natural looking finish, I think it's pretty for that. But like I said, it's not like gonna be one of my favorite foundations. But I know a lot of people are really loving this foundation, so let me know what your experience was with this. Do you have a similar experience to mine, or do you absolutely love it? Does it hold up well on you? What kind of skin do you have? That's my experience with this one. I don't hate it, I don't absolutely love it, and I'm gonna keep playing around with it to see if I do find a way that I super like it. I'm gonna be having a foundation updates video coming soon, including a couple of foundations that I swatched at the beginning. But if you enjoyed this foundation Friday and found it helpful, you can give it a thumbs up. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.